So I was gonna do something slightly different for this one, but I've had enough things like pop up in like my Fetty timeline and stuff about this that it's like, okay, maybe this one's a bit more clickbaity. So I'll bite. So everybody's been like up at like, oh, Raspberry Pi's dead because they hired Toby Roberts. So after seeing it enough and seeing it on Discord enough, I'm like, okay, what's really going on here? It's like, okay, Raspberry Pi has not gone bankrupt or anything, so they're not dead. But apparently they're saying that it's dead because of the new hire, and it's like, why? And I had no details, didn't really ask about it, so I like kind of searched around real quick. And so found the initial Raspberry Pi post where they talk about Toby and what he did and how he worked for like special operations in like terrorism and what was it? Crime and terror, organized crime and terror. So I can see like some of the worry there. And he built surveillance tech using Raspberry Pis, mind you, and other single board computers in order to surveil people. And so here's where I stand with this one. And I think this is where like most people are like, la, 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 is he is no longer with the like police force. He's working at Raspberry Pi, but during his job, if they were targeting specific people and not just like going out in general and spying on everyone, I can understand. Of course, you're going to get innocent people that are going to have their information sucked up, but that's why we have like sorting tech, is like we can sort out like the innocent from like the people that we're trying to get in this kind of a field. So if you're like running targeted surveillance on organized crime and terrorists, then that's one thing. Of course, some governments have interesting definitions of terrorism, which I do disagree with. That's its whole own other thing. Talks about like using Raspberry Pi for different things and whatnot. They don't really go too much into his background, really, with much of it, other than like, oh, 3D, I can make my own 3D printers. It's really cool and whatnot. But and how he's been a Raspberry Pi fan. He's left the police and he's gone to somewhere that's a little bit more chill. Okay. So then you get titles like, let's see. You get titles like this. Company Raspberry Pi hired an ex-cop and people are pissed. So this is what, so you go into it and it's like, okay, wow. And then you of course get the whole gotta click to see more thing. So people are mad on Twitter because, oh, you hired an ex-cop. What the heck? And it's like, okay. So the question becomes, and you do have to like look at it down the road. Could Raspberry Pi potentially add things in that you don't like? Maybe. Because you get headlines like this that's like, okay, Raspberry Pi hires former police officer to make surveillance tech. Okay. When his background is like he made surveillance tech using Raspberry Pis while he was working for law enforcement. And let's see, it goes into that. It's like, wait, there's nowhere in this article insinuating that they hired him to make surveillance tech for Raspberry Pi, to implement surveillance tech into Raspberry Pi. There's nothing in here about that. And that's what they named their title. And I think that's part of what is getting people all like agitated, is the stupid, crappy, clickbaity titles like that do that. Now, of course, some people have a natural aversion to police officers for whatever reason that they have. And there are also other posts of people like Raspberry Pi on their Mastodon being rather unprofessional, which I can understand disliking the company with that kind of customer service. They're treating their audience and denigrating their audience in such a way that it's like, are you trying to get rid of all your customers? So, again, looking down the road, yeah, look at it carefully, of course, but you should be doing that with anything like this. Like, Raspberry Pis aren't exactly the most, like, open source schematically thing that is out there. And it's yet the most popular thing for these projects. But people are likely to come back around. It's like, oh, well, there's nothing in it really, so yeah. And then when there are other alternatives that actually show you everything inside of it and give you access to the schematics for even, in some cases, the processors. Let me see. So, I mean, could this potentially kill Raspberry Pi financially? Maybe. Do I think it's going to? Not really. So it's just, why? You guys are freaking out over nothing. So, I mean, the most likely thing to kill a Raspberry Pi would be something like the Rock Pro 64. But that hasn't gained enough popularity to apparently warrant it. Let's see. So yeah, heat map on this. If we go down to, let's see, board features. Board information, schematics and information. So Pine 64 has as much information about this stuff as you can. So if you were worried about surveillance tech being put into Raspberry Pi, you should have been already using something else. Just saying, people. But yeah, if you're really, you should have been worried about it before. Not like waited till they hired an ex-cop to, decide, hey, I hate you now. It's like, really? You're just barely deciding that you hate them because of that, when, like, yes, Raspberry Pis in general run Linux, but have they really been all that open in their hardware? Anyway, stop freaking out. I don't think Raspberry Pi is dying. If you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.